Good morning and thank you for joining me today. This is a different video to the overlanding expedition build for the Defender 110. This behind me, I'm sitting on, is my 1968 Land Rover Series 2A, which is 109, the long wheelbase one. And today I will be doing a detailed walk around of the series. When I bought it, it was sort of very plain. It looked really nice, but very plain, and I've done some things to it to sort of try to add to it. And I'll talk through all of those things in this video. I will start from the front and walk my way around it. And then we'll do the interior, which is quite small because it's just single cab. And we'll talk about the wheels, the chassis, what's under the bonnet. So, let's do it. Starting from the front. Okay. Firstly, the black and silver red plate you have there, that is for historic vehicles in the UK. And you can only use that on vehicles registered before, I believe, 1980. Thankfully, this is 68, so I can use that, and it's cool. Apparently, speed cameras do not recognize these number plates. I mean, I'm not going anywhere fast in this anyway, but I think it's cool to know that they can't catch you. Anyway, so the person I bought the series from already had the plates made, so he gave them to me, and I think the plates look really good on the series. The front bumper was body colored, so I resprayed that alongside other parts. As you can see, the windscreen, I wanted to do a sort of restoration that tries to take it back to factory, and factory color is obviously the galvanized color. So I did an intensive job, and I'll try to get that video uploaded on YouTube soon. So as you can see, all around, I resprayed the front bumper. Obviously, I kept that. I don't really think it's. I don't think it's military. I think it could be RAF. I'm not sure, but it came to me in this camouflage dressing, and I had planned to change it, but over time it grew on me, so I left it. But I still wanted to restore it back to some sort of factory look, hence the galvanized restoration look all around. I will come back to that later. But going back to the front for now. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. So that's the front in terms of the bumper, the reg plates. You can see these lights look slightly different. I had this one, left one, but right up from your view, changed by my local mechanic, and I'll go under the bonnets later. I think front-wise, windscreen, as you can see, been resprayed. It came with some holes at the top. I filled them up, sealed them up, so there was no water going in. What else did I do at the front? I got new wing mirrors, new here and there. Changed both. We'll come to the underside later. It went to Juice Motors when I bought it, and Sam at Juice Motors did some incredible major servicing, including changing the steering hams to hardcore ones. Okay, moving to the side, I think we should talk about the wheels now. So when I took it to Sam for him to do the service and everything else that needed doing, Sam recommended I get these set of wheels for the series, and these are 255 85 16, and I am glad I listened to him because these look incredible on the series. I mean, everywhere I go in the series, obviously the series itself, it's a classy truck, but with these wheels on in black, they really set the truck off really well. So I did that, and I'm really pleased with that. One of the things I really like about this series, and I'll come back to that later, is the chassis. It is in excellent condition. You will notice that there is a wheel missing here. Now that is intentional. That's so when I walk around, I can see how lovely the chassis looks, and importantly, it's a security measure because there was an attempt to steal this truck last summer, and my cutoff switch saved it, I think. I thank God. So since then, I thought, well, if they want to come back to steal it, they got to come back with a trailer. But I want to make it easy for them. So that's why you have one wheel missing. And also you can see a spacer there. And when I installed the new tires and wheels, I also sort of tried to respray this and sort of sanded it down and put primer on and stuff. That's why you can see all of this here. I'll put a video on later. So I've got a spacer on, I think it's a 30mm spacer with that. And you can just see how that pokes out a little bit over there. I think that looks really, really good. That's what we've got here. We've got an external tank here, which is under there. I've never really used it. I've often used the tank under the driver's seat, which I will show you later. Hopefully I don't forget. And of course in here, I've got a sitting arrangement. I'll come back to that later. In the back, when I was planning what to do for this series, I just knew that if I'd be getting the big wheels, it would be really, really cool to have a spare wheel carrier on the back of the series. I did deliberate for a while whether to have this tire on the bonnet or not. And I think it looks cool on the bonnet, but it would have been way too heavy. That thing is so heavy. I put my back once or twice lifting this one that I took of the series. So in the end, I decided it looks much better, much sexier on the back, and decided to also keep one of the original wheels on the front. So why have two spares why have one spare when you can have two? That's how you say it, Lex. Anyway, I think having a spare wheel carrier on the back looks incredible, and I love that. So talking about the back again, I did I sanded down when I was doing the body, the galvanized bodywork. I also took some time out to sand down the rear, the rear of the chassis. Sanded it down, primed it, resprayed it. This was done about 9 months ago, and it still looks mint. And I really like that. Again, I love the colors going on in the back. You've got the indicators yellow, the brake lights red. You've got the 54 yellow and red there. You've got that red thing on I can't remember what it's called now. This one here, the tow hitch. And then you've got the yellow going on there. And I think the back for me looks the most amazing. It just looks great with the different black and yellow and red colors going on there. The spare tire, I've never used it. You can see it's still brand new. It's never touched the ground before. And the spare wheel carrier, it works really well. I'll come to open that later when I put my camera on the stand, and I'll show you what's inside there. Going around, again, just the tires rather, same as the other side, nothing major. That's the exhaust hanging slightly low over there. Could probably do with being pushed up, but it's not hurting anyone over there. And that's the exterior of the series. Let's go inside the cabin, but I'll do it on the driver's side because it's safer there. Right, I mentioned earlier that the series, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here for now, that the series was almost stolen. So what's happened was the guys or girls, whoever they are, or one person, I think they'd been watching it for a while. So they came around with an angle grinder and it took this bit off. And if you look closely, this was also grinded out. So these are actually just for decorative purposes. They don't work. But yeah, I think they tried to start. So they basically came, used flat screwdriver to knock this out, and did the same thing on the other side. But I don't think the driver door opened. But I don't think the passenger door opened. But the driver door opened. They got in, They must have tried to start it, or somehow it wouldn't start because of the cutoff switch, I believe. So they ended up pushing it down the road, all the way down there, took a left where that car is going to go. Yes, it is going there. And then eventually abandoned it in the middle of that road. Yeah, woke up the next morning, trucker showed me it was somewhere else. I thought my trucker was playing up. As it happened, trucker wasn't lying. I came out of my building, checked in the parking space, the series was gone. I almost had a heart attack, but thankfully I found it. And no damage to the key barrel, it's fine. So let's just get these out of the way so we can go through the interior properly. Just place this here for now. Oops. The pedals are standard. This is from petrol station. Put this in here. I'll go through the dash and I'll talk through this Exmo trim door cards. The dash is pretty standard. I didn't really do much inside. I wanted to keep it as original as possible. One thing I did do is I added a USB charger over there. So yeah, I think these days, this is a very, very basic truck. And I think it's good to have some sort of charger if you're going a long distance journey in there. Mileage is only, you can see that, 83,457. I think I've probably done about less than 500 miles in the past year. Interior, I've left it pretty standard, nothing major. I'm really impressed with the original sitting. I think with the exception of this one, everything else is original, which is something I'm very proud of. Behind there is just some things I've stored, starter kits there, and that's pretty much it really. Floor mat, I saw someone post this on Instagram in their vehicle. I thought it looks really good, so I got one for myself from John Craddock in the UK. Looks really nice. And then talking about the doors, I'm just gonna hold this down with my foot. Oops. So I know one of the weak spots for this series is the door tops. Even though the original door it came in was in pretty good condition, I just wanted to prolong its lifespan. So I got these galvanized door tops. They're really good. They probably could do with painting, but again, it's sort of protected as it is, so I didn't bother respraying them. But you can't tell the difference between the colors. Again, I could have put something here to stop this from being open, because as it is, someone could easily open it and get entrance really. But no one has done that in about 8 months, so we'll see. And you see in here too, I've got this in here to stop water from coming in, and this has worked well. And then here we've got the Exmo trim door cards. They look incredible, they look a treat. Whenever I've driven the series, I've often noticed lack of storage, so I always knew I needed something to store. I needed a storage point, and these are incredible. I've never really used them, to be honest, but they look great. Exmo trim over there. And I think that's about it for the interior. It's very basic, and I think really just keep it like that. Just keep it basic. When I bought this series, these I can't remember what they're called now. These seals, window seals, had deteriorated quite badly, so I got this changed. Took a long time to get it fitted properly, but I'm glad I did that. Everything else works fine, works well. Let's see if we can get this out with one hand. I was saying earlier, this is where the petrol is. This is the one I often use. Well, I only use because I think it's just cool. Yeah, it's cool. Just stop opening your door to fill up your tank. So I like to do cool things whenever I have the opportunity. You can actually see here when they came to steal the series, and when they use the angle grinder. But otherwise, it's good. High gear, low gear, everything works perfectly. The gear actually works really well in all gears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it has. Yes, not 5. The Defender has 6, and that's about it. It does look like it has heating based on this, but it doesn't. You can see that the duct tape just goes from one to the other. I did get a Smith's round heater for it, but I just never got around to installing the heater. So that's it for the interior. You know what, why don't we talk about, we can go through the chassis now, and then later I'll put my camera on the stand, and then we'll go through what's in there. So the chassis itself is really, really good. I mean, for me, it was one of the most attractive points about when I decided to get a Defender. It's that, just pardon my camera angle, it's in really good condition all around. I was surprised, and I think the reason why it has stood the test of time so well is because it had been band stored for about 25 years. It wasn't really being used, and that also is reflected in the mileage. And also the engine is, sorry about the camera moving around erratically, and also the mileage is reflective of use as well. It's only, sorry, the engine rather is reflective of use. It's very smooth, very calm, very responsive, no issues, no unnecessary smoking. The chassis is just great. I'm really impressed with it. I'm really pleased with it. And that's the chassis. And then let's do the front. So as I said earlier, when I went to Juice Motors, Sam put high definition steering arms, and they look really great. I like the color. I thought about respraying them, but I thought, no, let's just leave it. And that looks really good, I think. And that's that there. And okay, so next thing to do, bonnet and rear. And I'll put my camera on the stand and we'll do that. The engine bay, right, so it doesn't look spanking clean, and I think that's partially because it's been painted black in most parts, but also yeah, that's it. It doesn't need to look spanking clean. It's not a baby that I spend 10 hours a day caring for, but it looks good. It's neat enough, no oil leaks whatsoever. When I took it to Sam at Juice Motors, I think they took off the head gasket and replaced the rocker gasket cover, something like that. I'm not a mechanic, but they did something to stop any oil leaking. It had gone through a good restoration before I bought it. You can tell with the fan there that had been resprayed, and new belt from Brit parts there. Everything works well in the engine bay, as it should. No issues or concerns whatsoever. So this one, and I believe this was mostly for maybe the ex-RAF vehicles or military vehicles or not. They have their battery under the passenger seat as opposed to here. So I think the commercial ones would have their batteries here, but the non-commercial ones are their batteries under the driver's seat. I could have gotten that wrong. Tell me if I have. I really just read something online about it in a couple of places. But the engine bay looks great. Yeah, nothing of. I think this is the Weber cab. Worth mentioning that it's a Weber cab. This is not the original cab, but I think they changed this because this is more reliable. I know that one. Otherwise, that's it really. I'd be lying if I tried to explain to you how anything works. Yeah, that's it there. Now let's go to the back and get this last bit done and get this video to an end. I think it's worth giving a quick shout out to this tonneau cover. I did look for other suppliers, and I think Exmo Trim have really good ones, but I thought they were quite pricey, about £450. And I found this guy on eBay. It's custom made. You can choose the stitching, choose the rope color you want, and I think this for me has stood the test of time and use. I've had it for about 8 months now, probably more than that. And there are times when, you know, I've had water over here for like a week or something or more. And it is, you know, when I was away in Mexico, it rained quite a lot, and it was, you know, it had water there for a few weeks. And now it's come back, it's sort of stretched out properly. No issues, no problems, easy to take on, easy to put on, easy to take off. I'm really, really pleased with it. Excellent quality, excellent product, all around. So, worth a shout out. Found it on eBay, and still working. Great. Alright, I'm gonna get the camera off the stand now and show you what's in there. There might be a bit of a movement here and there, but just bear with me, please. Thank you. Okay, so I didn't want to dress it up before I show it to you, but I think it's worth showing you as it is right now so you can see why I did what I did. So coming out, let's get this opened up. This just stays here, which is good. Just about touches the body, but not quite. Of course, get this up, and this comes down. I bought these for it. These are little good. So here we are. Floor mats from Exmo Trim. Straighten that up, and that is it. This is the interior. Now, I think it's worth explaining why this looks this way. So, when I knew I'd be doing this work, I also knew I wanted to put sitting arrangements in the back. But for me, one of the most beautiful things, in my opinion, about the series vehicles is this lovely running galvanized steel sexy line. And I've seen many restorations where they end up installing seats, and the seats sort of protrude out of here, over here, and come back here. And I personally feel that takes away from, you know, this lovely line. So in doing this, and also because I didn't want to install anything permanent that would sort of take away from the series in itself. Just checking something there. Okay, good. Because I didn't want to install something that would take away from the series, I thought, why don't I do custom or bespoke seating arrangements, which means you can use Velcro to install a seat rest. Let me show you that properly. Sorry, I'm not making sense right now. I'll go inside and show it to you properly. Here we go. So, an arrangement that's temporary, which means using Velcro, as I've done here, you can place this on here like so. It goes on here. And it works. Look at that. And I've got so this sits 3. That could be straighter. I've just put it in with one hand. This sits 3. I got the seat, I think, made from China. I found a supplier on Amazon, sent them the measurements, and they made everything. And the seat belts are from Exmo Trim, and this sits 2. Similar setup as well. Just place this here like that, like that, and everything works. And that's it too. And here I still have a spare wheel carrier, and I've still got the tools for all of that to fit that back in there. Of course, the massive BFGs, KM3s would never fit in there. I did try, but if whoever owns this next decides to put their spare wheel carrier over there, their spare wheel tire over there, they can do it. And then what else? So another reason why I chose this arrangement is because, one sec. Okay, it's because I did not want to have to, because if I have to install permanent seating arrangements, then I would need effectively to, one sec, there's a method behind this madness. I'll need to seal off the tools box area, and I didn't want to do that. So that's why I thought installing temporary seating here means you can take this off, access your tools box, and still have seats to sit on. That's my way of, you know, trying to not overly modify the Defender, but the series, but also making it walkable. And the floor mats are great from Exmo Trim. They've worked well. And another reason why I also went for this arrangement, I'm just gonna come up now. Sorry about that. Is that the rear of the car, if you were someone who likes going camping, you can actually put this one, the long one, down, the short one down, get 2 seats from inside the cabin, arrange them over there, and you can have a bed here. And I've tried that, pictures on my Instagram, it works really well. So that's pretty much the interior, and that's my rationale behind doing something like this, which gives you sitting, but also retains the authenticity of the vehicle without necessarily installing major structural changes, and means if someone wants to reverse up everything I've done, it's easy to do. And that's it really. Thanks for joining me. So I'll put a video online later of my restoration job of doing all of this and doing the back. It took a few days, but I got it done, and that's largely it. So I will do a quick 1 minute walk around again to show you everything in one shot, and then I will say goodbye to you. So here we go from the front. Excuse my camera stand over there. Let's check the interior again quickly. Excuse my the mess over there. And this is it. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate it's a much longer video. It's one I think just needs to be done and done properly. Please do subscribe. There'll be more videos coming on the build for the Defender, and then also some Green Day content as well I'm working on. Take care, and take care. Bye.